Mr. Leong Man Wai.
Sir, the Competition and Consumer Commission of Singapore, CCCS, has received Grab's notification of the proposed acquisition. CCCS will assess the impact of the proposed acquisition on competition and consult relevant stakeholders before reaching a decision on the matter.
Mr. Leong Man Wai.
Sir, thanks. Can I ask the MOS about further actions taken? What will be the further actions taken with regards to this acquisition? For example, we all know that this acquisition is likely to have great impact on the livelihood of our about 100,000 of taxi drivers and driver hirers. So did the ministry conducted any study on what has been the impact of the last Grab's acquisition of Uber on the fares, waiting time for commuters, the income of driver hirers, and the taxi drivers? This is the first question. Did the ministry did any survey on all these things, and what has been the impact? And so that will become a consideration in assessing this acquisition. Second question I want to ask is that, given that Grab already controls 75% of the current private hailing market, and we know that the taxi and the PHV markets are actually, they are like, part and parcel of one another already as the development of the market continues. So since Grab is already holding 75% of the market, what do you think? Of course, I may be jumping the gun a little bit, but do you think that will be taken into consideration very seriously by the CCCS? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
MOS Tan.
So I thank the member for his SQ. Me just to share again and reiterate the point that the CCCS is still assessing this, and so we cannot comment on the specific case under consideration at this stage. What we can do is to share about the processes, and that's what I'll be doing shortly. The CCCS, for the members' understanding, adopts a two-phased approach in evaluating merger applications that are made to the Competition Commission. And upon receipt of this complete application, the CCCS will carry out a Phase 1 review, which involves a quick assessment. This Phase 1 is expected to be completed within 30 working days. The timeline is subject to suspension for a variety of reasons. For example, if the merger parties do not respond to CCCS's request for information or provide documents which are needed to complete its assessment. Now, for merger situations that do not raise competition concerns, CCCS will issue a favorable decision at the end of the Phase 1 review, and therefore the merger can proceed without undue delay. Now, if during the Phase 1 review, the CCCS is unable to conclude that the merger situation does not raise competition questions or concerns, it will provide the merger parties with a summary of its key concerns and then proceed to carry out a more detailed Phase 2 review, which is expected to take 120 working days. To the members' questions about consultation and concerns, I wanted to assure him that information provided by third parties play an important role in the CCCS's assessment of mergers. The CCCS obtains relevant information from third parties such as competitors and customers via public consultation and by contacting them directly. CCCS in this case will be consulting on the proposed acquisition and the public will be able to provide feedback through this public consultation. Thank you.
Mr. Leong Man Wai.
Sir, on the ground, we receive a lot of feedbacks or complaints by drivers, hirers, and also commuters about the condition of the point-to-point transport in Singapore. So, based on the understanding, I would like to ask, based on the understanding of the MOS, what has been the trends of fares, waiting times, and the driver hirers' income over the last 3 to 5 years? Yeah.
MOS Alvin Tan.
Sir, there are several PQs on this matter that has been filed, and the Ministry of Transport will be addressing them at a subsequent sitting. Can I ask that the member refer to those replies instead on the P2P Act? Thank you.
Dr. Tan Wu Meng.
I thank the MOS for its answer. I have two sets of supplementary questions on this. I have Clementi residents who've also been following the news. Some are consumers, some are drivers, and they're understandably wondering what it means moving forwards. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, without prejudging the outcome, can I ask, based on previous CCCS assessments, whether CCCS may look at whether there'll be substantial lessening of competition in just a single aggregate market or at the individual markets of taxis, private hire, as well as the total aggregate point-to-point markets? That's my first question. The second question would be, again, without prejudging the outcome, has there been any situation where CCCS, as part of assessing potential economic benefits, even if there's substantial lessening of competition, is a tripartite lens applied so that if there are tripartite outcomes which are overall beneficial to workers and the functioning of the labor market and bargaining power between workers and firms, would that be a consideration as well as part of the economic outcomes in the analysis? Thank you.
MOS Tan.
So I thank Dr. Tan Wu Meng for his SQ. It's worth saying that not all mergers, as I mentioned in my original answers, give rise to competition issues. Many, in fact, are pro-competitive or are competitively neutral. Now, to determine if a merger is anti-competitive, the CCCS will assess whether the merger leads, as the member alluded to a substantial lessening of competition. With regards to this specific case, as I mentioned to the member earlier on, we will be conducting a public consultation, and I invite members as well as members of the public to give their views on this particular merger. Thank you.